Ah, yes, the Mosley Show, right at 1, maybe 102 right now. But hey, thanks for joining us. What do we? Oh, look at it. The Twitter audience has shown up huge. Appreciate all of you guys. Want you to go over and join us on the YouTube page. That thing has grown exponentially, and I haven't even gamed the system yet. I'd like to. I'd like to know how to just kind of game the system. I might do it at some point. Juice the numbers a little bit, but we haven't done that. It's just nothing artificial about this show. I'd love to have some artificial things. All right. I'd love to have some work done and be as artificial as possible. But just we're just decided to go all natural, however you say that. And we're gonna roll with it today. Kevin's a man who's just kind of lets it. Kevin Hoosier Hall, talk about going all natural. He's a man that just kind of lets it flow. This is about as cleaned up as he gets. This is what it is. Kev, I know in the office today, you got to meet Tom Barfield, one of the newest members of Rogue, and he enjoyed that. He said, "Oh, that's a cool guy." I said, "Well, get to know him." I said, No, but I agreed. I said, very good guy. So he was pleased with meeting you, and he'll be calling the game along with Derek today as the Baylor Bears get their baseball season going. And New Mexico State in town for that 4:00 first pitch, and we'll go out to the ballpark at 2 to visit with Tom and get a little bit of a preview there. At 1:30 today, Ashley Hodge and I are going to talk some Baylor men's basketball. And no, we're not going to break down, what they can do to save the season, anything like that. Okay, we're going to be realistic. But we will kind of talk about, like, what the future holds and what this could look like moving forward and some of the lessons learned. And Ashley will help on that front. Ashley Hodge, co-founder of Sikkim 365 and a man in the know. All right, will be joining us right there at 1:30. And then so we'll do Tom at 2. And then, Kev, let's do at around 2:20 or 2:30, let's do some Campus Confidential. And then let's send these people on their way. Let's just send them out to have a nice weekend because the weather's nice. I kind of want to go out and play tennis. I was invited today, Kevin. People kind of forget about my new schedule. They wanted a post-lunch. They wanted me to come play a round of golf. Oh, I got asked to play at like the most exclusive club in all of Dallas. They said they had a slot for me after lunch today. Kevin, you know what I had to say? Fellas, my show starts at 1:00. I'm sorry, I can't play golf. The truth is, I don't know what kind of shape my golf game's in because I just hadn't played lately. So you hate to take that out to like a beautiful course. You kind of would like your game not, to kind of be in some form of shape before you just stroll out there and try to play in that kind of setting. All right, but anyway. I can feel our audience being very sad for me. Kev, in a second, I'd like to break down some things from last night, and it includes. And I was in. And Kev, by the way, today's Waco Trib. If you go out and you read Bryce Cherry's column about last night's Baylor TCU women's basketball game, good crowd, by the way. They announced that it was like 5,800, but it was like, close to that place holds about 7,000. And I think there's about 6 in there. And they gave away some tickets, which is fine. And it was a really raucous, fun atmosphere for women's college basketball. And the Bears did not get it done. They did not get it done. So, Kev, what I'm going to do is, even though it's going to hurt me again to watch it, that third quarter run, I know you're kind of looking for, and it's out there, believe me, because she put on a show, an absolute show. But you're going to find us some, there she is, the great Olivia Miles. And Kev, at some point, we don't have to do it right now, but I mean, I kind of want to at least show what she was doing, because I need to talk about what Baylor's lack of adjustments. I am extremely positive around Baylor women's basketball, partially because it's easy to be. Nikki's done a good job for years before her. Kim, Baylor dominated everybody. We're used to winning. We're used to dominating in women's basketball. Last night, they did not live up to expectations. They did not live up to the Baylor brand. And, yes, some of it's on the players, but there were some major coaching things that need to be discussed. And again, people go, Mosley, you're being whatever. I'll bring this up with Nikki. Nikki and I have a really good relationship. So I'm not going to be hesitant to go, Nikki, what were y'all doing? And that was the first question Zach had last night. He's the Baylor women's beat writer for the Waco Trib. I mean, his first question was the appropriate question. What was the defensive strategy against Olivia Miles, and why didn't something change in this game? That woman you're looking at right there, Kev, I mean, she went for 40 in that game. And sometimes you go, tip your hat. Okay, great game. And that's true. But when someone is torching you, you have to be quicker to make adjustments. And if whatever your game plan was, which I guess somewhat worked in the first half, because what they tried to do is make her score instead of letting her be a playmaker. And so, again, she had 10 points in the first half. She had 30 in the second half. She had 23 of TCU's 25 points in the second quarter. Excuse me, in the third quarter of the game. Second quarter, they were fine. Baylor made a rally. They were down 21-12. They rallied to get it to 36-32. And then in the third quarter of this game, it was the dangest thing I've ever watched. I think a lot of us that were watching it on TV, and it was national, it was ESPN, and it was a big dang game. All right, because Vanderbilt was beating the dog out of Texas, and Vic called out he didn't think the effort was there. He was really down on his players. I thought the Baylor, the first half, especially the second quarter, Talia Scott was keeping the game. Van Geitenbeek, honestly, Jana was making big shots in the third quarter, trying to keep the Bears connected in that game. And it was just sickening to watch the team playing, as hard as they could. And yet the defensive strategy on Olivia Miles was, hey, we know you've made like 3 of these in a row, but we're going to continue to beg you to make them. We're going to see if you can keep making them. And make them she did. All right. She made 10 threes. It's a new TCU school record on the road. May have been an all-time record altogether, as far as I know. But come into a hostile environment and let somebody get hot like that and let them silence your gym. I don't know. I mean, I'm just baffled was the word I kept coming back with last night. So, Kev, at some point during this show, we'll show a few of these. Okay, I want some of the highlights to show what she was doing in that third quarter. It was unreal. And, of course, the TCU women's Twitter account will have that on it. Everybody will have that on it. But I want to show what Baylor, again, they were trying to turn into a scorer. And so in some ways they were begging her to shoot. And to watch it in the third quarter, first of all, on the pick and roll, They were going under screens, which was allowing her to shoot the three. Then, even without the pick, she's out there around the three-point line, and they're kind of like not going at her. They're trying to let her shoot. And she just kept making three after three. And then they finally tried to make some adjustment. And then poor Kyla Abraham, who's Baylor's tallest player at 6'4", 6'5", whatever Kyla is, she's a good player. I mean, I like Kyla. But Abraham gets put on her, and, Olivia Miles is literally one of the top 2 or 3 best players in the country. What's she going to do to somebody who's 6'4"? Okay. You go under the pick. There, you just don't get out on her. There, it's just like, let's just let her. Okay, back to her. Don't get out on her. Don't close out on her. I mean, they're not literally. She's doing this play after play after play. It's okay. Let's look here. Okay, got the ball. Not close out. Don't get out on her. There's the three. All right. And that's what I was talking about. Abraham at least came out to try to put some size on her. And she just played with her. There's a step back on Jana. Was that Jana? I couldn't tell for sure if that was Jana out there. So again, there's off a pick. She just sets back. Nobody goes at her. At that point, it's like 72-54. You, in a span of like 5 or 6 minutes, you got yourself shot out of the ball game. Ball game's over. Like, you've lost your chance. Like, there are just big moments in games, and whether it's calling a timeout or whether it's adjustments, whatever it is. And sometimes you go, well, I was mad at the same thing to just keep this thing balanced against Texas Tech early this year on the men's side. And Atwell's out there just hitting three after three after three. And you're just like, please do something. Please foul him. Throw him into the stands. Do something. I was getting texts from people across the country that have loved this program and have loved Baylor for years. And they were just like, and I'm talking like major college women's basketball people. All right. And they're just like blown away. Like, what happened? So now here's what has to happen. All right. But Nikki's right. They're now 10-3. TCU's 10-3. They still have everything out in front of them. They could still win the conference. Now, West Virginia kind of holds a tiebreaker, I guess, now, right? Because West Virginia is also at like 9-3 or something like that, 10-3, but they've beaten Baylor and maybe have beaten TCU. But Baylor still can go to Fort Worth and has everything out in front of them. But I think with a little time to reflect, Nikki, before the next game, will kind of have, I think she'll have again, she's kicking herself today in a huge way, because whatever strategy they came up with, and I know as she explained that last night, at the end of it, she said, at some point you got to get a hand up. At some point you got to, and that's true. Okay. I'm not going to put it all on the players, and I'm not going to put it all on the coaches, but you saw too much of it. It got so bad. You either had to call a timeout, you had to immediately respond to that, because Baylor, we're so focused on Olivia Miles. She ends up with 40. Okay. I think they had a player, I'm trying to remember. They had a player in, was it Connor? Somebody had 41. Trying to think if it was against Baylor. I'm trying to think of like the biggest scoring performances ever against Baylor. Audie Crooks one time had a huge game, but Olivia Miles just put on an absolute show. And I think what frustrated me, in addition to the non-adjustments and sticking with the strategy that obviously wasn't working was that during that time, like Jana and Talia and some of the Bears, and even Talia was making some great, Nikki talked about it, some of her drives and then some of her passes on like the pick and roll, like or the, I guess you'd call that kind of like a middle screen offense, whatever it was, the bigs were rolling, and Talia was making some great passes. So I think what was killing me is during that crazy Olivia Miles run, Baylor was running some pretty good offense, and for a little bit, they were kind of hanging in there. But it got to be so crazy and over the top, the run, that it was like you looked up and you're like, it's 72-54. The game is over. All these fans and everybody who came out to celebrate this big night of women's basketball, it's like over. The game's over. So, again, everybody's just got to own it. Tony Green's a heck of a coach, the assistant coach. Nikki gives him a lot of autonomy. You look over at huddles. A lot of times he's running those huddles at timeouts, and she'll come in there and say her piece. But Tony is kind of like he's truly the associate head coach. He does a lot, and he is in charge of the defensive schemes. And I should say, their 3-point defense had been like some of the best in the country, certainly the best in the conference going in. So let's not act like, oh, this has been some horrible problem the whole year. But in that game, you have got to be willing to get out of whatever you're doing. So again, we want women's basketball to continue to be a big thing at Baylor. And so we need to react appropriately when they do well and be excited about that. And I think we need to react appropriately and when they lose. And again, are Baylor fans spoiled? Yes. Because I'm hearing all this stuff, Kevin, about like, oh man, this conference, everybody beats up on each other, so it doesn't get enough respect. And by the way, Talia Scott's breakdown of why this conference should get more respect last night was like next level stuff. I heard Nikki say, good answer, T, or something like that. And it really was. It was like better than any college basketball analyst would come up with. Like in that moment, after a tough loss, man, she was good. She was really good. But when I say, are we spoiled? Yeah, these people didn't beat us for 35 years. We beat them 37 straight times. We embarrassed the living daylights out of the Frogs. And then this guy, Mark Campbell, comes along, and they've got 4 straight wins, and that's the deal. Now, Kev, what I started to hit on, I thought you would like, I don't know if you've read Bryce's column from last night. Kev, you need to subscribe like I do to the Waco Trib. All right, you don't have to have them. Throw it in your yard. All right, your kids, your 7 children, Kevin, would be like, what is that, Dad? What is that big thing that they threw out in the yard? But Kevin, you can subscribe to the. In fact, I'm going to get Rogue to get us all subscriptions. I already pay for mine, but I'm going to see if they'll do that because it's worth it. It's very good coverage. And Kev, last night's column from Bryce Cherry, sports editor at the Waco Trib, what does he lead with? I was kind of jolted when I read the column because I was like, I want to see what Bryce wrote. Well, my name is in the first line, Kevin, which is the old adage, always lead with Mosley, right? I think it's a good tactic. Now, he also wrote a lot about in that column Kim Mulkey, and you can't, that's the thing. He said it. It's hard for anybody from Baylor to watch this team or this coach and not think back on Kim because and Nikki knew what she was doing. She left the WNBA to follow one of the greatest coaches of all time. She's already in the Springfield. She's already in the Naismith Hall of Fame. Okay. She, along with Gino and Kay Yao and Muffet McGraw and Pat Summit, but we're talking about the greatest women's coaches of all time. We're talking about the greatest coaches of all time, period. Take women's out of it. I mean, Summit, Gino, Kim, whoa. Okay. And it's like, okay, I'm going to leave Baylor. Well, how's she going to do it this other place? Well, she goes within 2 years and she's won a national championship. All right. So let's get the elephant out of the room. It's always going to be. She's always going to be hovering over everything. But that doesn't mean Baylor can't still be great. And that doesn't mean Nikki can't build a national championship caliber team. But we need to be willing to call these things out when they happen. All right? The good, the bad, the ugly. And last night was unacceptable. Last night was, here's the big crowd, big night for college basketball. Baylor's on ESPN. And it wasn't good enough. It wasn't. It was like, Nikki and the staff didn't get it done. So there you go. I mean, that's it. That's it. Kev, did you? You're a fan of both the men's and women's programs at Baylor. I was trying to get you to go over there, sit in that upper bowl, take advantage of those free tickets that I got for you. How did you take it in last night? Did you at least get to watch some of it?
I kept track of the score along the way until it kind of got out of hand. And, thank you for the tickets, by the way. Greatly appreciated. But
I was able to buy all of those for the upper bowl.
We
and the Mosley Show.
We had a rare night where there was no practices and no games for any of my kids. And
what'd you do? You just hung out with them?
Well, no. What I did was I had the older ones take the younger ones to the park and to eat.
What'd you do?
My wife and I had a little bit of a impromptu
Valentine's
time.
Wow. Yes. All right. I mean,
because now my daughter is at her state basketball thing in Bryan College Station for the next couple days.
I like that. Take the kids down to the park. Let the older ones watch the little ones.
Yep.
And y'all come back in about 3 hours.
Yep. That's right.
Knock before you come in. All right, Kev. Good for you. But the rest of us were focused on a big dang basketball game, and it was frustrating. All right, I'll tell you what. We got big guests coming up, and Ashley Hodge and I have a lot to discuss. And Ashley is going to join us next.
As part of Central National Bank's partnership with Baylor Women's Basketball, we asked Coach Collin to take a shot at improving the efficiency of our drive-thru.
The lane is open! Drive the lane! Attack the lane! Go! 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 Go!
We have a few kinks to work out.
Is this what you had in mind when you invited her?
No. I think you should say something to her.
Me?
Let's make Craig do it.
Okay, yeah.
You're gonna take this canister and you're gonna shoot it up.
Be all right. Be all right. Just be confident. Hey, Coach. Can I have a word with you?
Craig, not right now! I'm with a customer.
Okay.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor Women's Basketball.
And pace.
It's the Restore Clarity Focus Patch, my little secret weapon for staying sharp, focused, and on task. Each box comes with simple instructions inside, so you always know exactly how to apply it. Each patch lasts for 3 days. I love that I can wear it all day.
Boy, it looked effortless.
Man, watch this.
Layups, floaters, threes. He was like an unsolvable equation.
I was born like this.
His resilience, his strength, his belief, adversity never stood a chance.
Know your power.
All right. Ashley Hodge, the co-founder and chief of staff. I don't know. We'll give him all kinds of titles. He's going to hop on with us in a minute. I mean, we'll jump on with him. And Baylor plays Louisville tomorrow. Man, isn't that crazy, Kev? Is that really happening at Dickies? I mean, it just feels so weird to have the season going this poorly, and then suddenly an ACC like a top 25. Kev, what is Louisville ranked? By the way, did you take a peek?
I didn't. Last time I saw it was 24.
Okay.
But today on the Zach Owen show, we actually had our musical guest is the person who's going to perform the national anthem at that game.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in a normal time, the Baylor fans would have shown up and taken that place over. Like, here we are, man. Great college basketball opportunity. I'm just trying to think what my Saturday looks like. Part of me kind of wants to go support Scott and just go sit down there. In fact, I'll see if when Ashley joins us, I'll try to hit him up for a ticket to this game. I'll try to hit him up. This is right in his backyard. This will be good. The team's playing better. I mean, it's a horrible season, but Tunde had 37 the other night. Cam Carr had 20, 21, 22, something like that. So they are playing better. I guarantee you Ashley will be over there. It's right there. They're playing in his backyard. I think he pretty much arranged for this game. I mean, what Ashley really wants to do is just have me go over this Baylor opening series rotation, baseball, the starting rotation against New Mexico State. But let's get him on here. Ashley, I see him waiting in the wings, and he's a man that has, I think, some pickup games on the way. He's a man who appreciates a good standing desk. And I just think it's one of the reasons he's in great shape. Ashley, I give you a hard time, but I'm kind of inspired. I'll see you occasionally tweet about like some kind of, I don't know, exercise type thing or something. And I'm like, hey, I need to look into that. So I'm always out there looking. Of course, I'm looking for whatever I can do. Ooh, look at that, Ashley. Kevin has gotten some new graphics. Look at that.
Very nice.
That's beautiful right there below you. Ashley, welcome to the program. How are you today? What are you up to? Are you like on a treadmill as you're talking to us?
It's good to be on. Did a little Camp Gladiator today. My basketball game got canceled. Didn't get enough guys. 5:30 in the morning. Showed up. No one was there. So that was disappointing. But
oh, really?
Day. Yeah.
The hoops game, the guys did not show up. Okay. Yeah. Well, I tell you,
it's a lot of these LDS guys, man. I tell you what,
their chance. They had their chance to talk trash. It's going to get a little dated, Take it into next week.
Wow, the Mormons could have, they could have talked a little bit. Ash, I was down there in very kind of Ashley Hodge-like seats. In fact, our good mutual buddy, James Perry, I had my daughter with me. And James kind of give me the, like, what are you doing down here, Mosley? I think it makes the front row guys a little nervous when I'm just kind of moving around down there. But thanks to one of my good buddies, I ended up down there on the floor. And it is, Ashley, for people, and I hope everybody at some point gets a chance to be down there. But like when they play somebody like BYU with DeBonsa, and then of course everybody getting on Rob. That's really neat to be down there, isn't it? It's just because you really and anywhere in that arena is honestly a great seat. Okay. Sure. But when you're down there kind of court level, the level of athleticism and seeing somebody, like even just the level of physicality is kind of unreal. And then to get to see even Tunde up that close, it's like, I think we maybe when you do that, you even appreciate the players even more, don't you?
Yes. I don't know if the level of physicality was anything special. We sure didn't put number one on his butt like I was hoping we would. But
that's a fair point.
To your point though, I mean, DeBance is incredible. Reminds me a lot of Kevin Durant. You know, we both saw him come through the Farrell Center, and he's just deadly in the mid range, long wingspan. You know, obviously Tunde played great. Cam Carr played great. Rob, really took it to his former team. Saw his dad behind the bench with his Mosley style sunglasses. He was yamming it up. He had a good time after the game, I'm sure. But it was disappointing. Another opportunity tomorrow, right? Louisville, big opportunity in Fort Worth, Dickies Arena.
Is that what we call them, opportunities at this point?
That's right.
Are you now? This is good because you have. You're a man that can kind of, function in any community, but you still call the Metroplex home. It's a little bit sad that they're so down, right? Because like that could have been a really fun crowd, and Dickies and the Bears go in there and kind of take that over. I think guys to your level of fandom will still show up and support the Bears. I don't know what Louisville's fan base is like around here. I'd have to think a fair amount of Louisville people might show up. It's been a great program over the years. They obviously have some great history. Ashley, again, it's hard for me to talk in context of can they somehow make the tournament. I think that's kind of foolish to do. But like you say, at least we've lowered the bar so much that like being competitive feels kind of nice, doesn't it? I'm just saying it's been pretty bad this season.
They're as bad as it's been. They are getting better. I mean, they're obviously 3-point loss at Iowa State. You're just so disappointed you can't win a big home game. What are we, 1-5 in Big 12 play at home? That's pretty sad. Good competition. We've obviously played a lot of good teams. TCU is the one that's a head scratcher. You should have won that one, but I think. This is an opportunity to right the ship. I mean, it's a long shot to make the tournament. You never know. But if you could win this game, and if you could sweep next week, you got two opponents that I think you'll be favored in both of those games. Kansas State, I saw they're announcing bag night. I think you sent me that tweet. Jerome Tang said in his post-game presser, "Hey, if I was a fan, I'd put a bag over my head too." So they've embraced that. For Baylor, they're going to have bag night, I guess. But that should be in one of the easier road environments we have all year. And then Arizona State, at home, that's a team you should beat. So, hey, if you beat Louisville, you go on a 3-game winning streak, and then you got Arizona. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to beat Arizona. I was trying to set it up, but I couldn't say it with a straight face.
We're back to that time when we used to go to the Farrell, right, to see the opposing players back in the day. You get to see certain people in person. What about this Jerome thing? Is like, that's messy, and Jerome's in a bad way, and I think he's got a big buyout. They don't want to fire him probably, but they may have to. Would you, in your mind, that's what I was saying yesterday. I'm like, listen, as bad as this has been at Kansas State, we still love him. Baylor people still love him. I think Scott has lost too many coaches over the last several years. I mean, it's not even a slow drip. It's been kind of a fast. Jacobs and AB at the same time. Nunes disappears this year. So many long-term. He's been able to keep a lot of guys for a good while, and then they all started leaving. And even the one guy he brought in left him immediately, Link Academy guy, to go to Bill Armstrong, to go to McNeese State. So the staff, which has been so solid for years and a great coaching tree, there's just been a ton of turnover, and I don't know how much to blame any of this on that. Do you think Scott, if Jerome gets fired, which obviously there has to be a great possibility of that, would Scott immediately hire him or try to hire him and bring him back, do you think?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I don't see he and Sanchez, coexisting well. I mean, Ron's an easy guy to get along with. It's not egos or anything. I mean, it's just you brought Sanchez in to run the defense. I mean, I just think, that's what you would want Jerome for. Scott's always been, kind of the main guy in charge of the offense. Jacobs was as well when he was here, but, now he's got Henson in that role. I just see Jerome, being the guy on defense if he comes back. But you've already got Ron Sanchez in that role, and he's a senior guy, was with Tony Bennett a long time. I think it's just too early to dismiss his pedigree. I think if he had the right athletes and the right personnel, he could be really impactful on the defensive end. You've seen improvements, not the BYU game, but West Virginia.
He held them under
West Virginia
100.
was good. No one scores 100 on Baylor. Nobody. TCU couldn't get there. BYU couldn't get there. It's just not going to happen. Not on this watch. But it's to your point. I think it would be an either or. I think if Sanchez moved on, then Tang would make sense. But if Sanchez stays, I just don't see that as a real viable possibility.
Okay, and then as we look ahead from a personnel standpoint, they've got to make some changes, and two huge whiffs. Poor Ratai. I mean, you see him over there. He seems like such a likable guy, and he comes out, and it's just like every time he's getting ready to shoot. I had a kid next to me saying something like, "You got to shoot that." And I looked over and I'm like, "No, do not encourage him to shoot that." And, you every once in a while, you'll see him go for a rebound, and you can kind of see the makings like of an athletic big dude. And yet, again, I was told that somebody was saying something about how we've got our next Jeremy Sohan. And he's so far from that. It's just like anybody who thought that or had that belief, you got to question their acumen. You got to question their ability to look at that. So what I would ask you is, what is the process, do you think? Like, do you think the GM, which in this case I believe is a guy named Jason Smith, do you believe in the portal analysis or evaluation that person kind of looks at a bunch of people and then kind of brings that to the staff? Because, again, part of what Doug McNamee, because you and the donors are not going to keep putting money out there if they keep whiffing. Like, you can't – it's just not – even very rich people hate doing that.
Yeah.
And whoever helped put the money up for Ratai, which had to be somewhere in the $1 million range or more, has to be sitting there like, what in the world did we do? Yeah. How do you approach this?
Yeah, no, I mean, they've got to take a hard look at that. I mean, Scott Drew's got to take responsibility for his roster. Right. I mean, he's the coach. It's not like football. You don't have 85 guys to worry about. You got 12, 13 scholarship guys, a couple, extra roster spots. So I think, I bet it's going to be, I don't really know if Jason was given, full authority to build the roster or not, but I would say that that's not going to be the case going forward. It's going to be more of a team approach, that the staff and Scott Drew will make sure they get the guys that they want, a lot of accountability on how to build this next roster. I expect they will definitely make point guard a priority. I think you mentioned it. Elliot Cadeau is a guy that I think they could have had Rob Wright hit the portal early in the process, and he was, there was some murmurings that, his dad, of course, was shopping it early. And, if he had hit the portal, we'd probably have Elliot Cadeau, and the team would look a lot different. He's doing a great job at Michigan. Number 1, 2, or 3 team in the nation. I don't look at college basketball stats anymore this year. It's just no fun. So they're going to go get a point guard. I know that's going to be a major priority. And I certainly think they'll probably try to make a strong case to try to get Cam Carr back if that's possible. I think Tunde's gone. I think he showed the other day that he's going to be highly valued. But Cam could be a guy that's like, because of his strength, just has to get stronger. Could be a late first, early second round, and you'd have to pay him really well to keep him. But I mean, you make him the marquee guy next year. You bring in a great point guard. You build around those two pieces. I mean, it could look really good. I mean, you could certainly make a run at a Big 12 title and a national championship if you get the right pieces in place. And Scott knows what he's doing. It's been a few years of disappointing results, but I think this will light a fire under him and everyone on the staff to try to get back to what we saw 4 years ago.
Yeah, you're right. But the Kentucky thing, that took all our attention away from that class a little bit. And we thought, well, hey, now they got Roach. And I mean, it's like when they brought him in, we were kind of like, this is an interesting group.
Right.
But they learned some hard lessons from that.
For sure.
And then I was thinking the other night watching Rob, okay, I got to get your heart out here. I was just kind of thinking about Rob's production. And again, I'm with you. The dad's a joke, and I hate that this happened. But he is a great player, and he's even better when you put DeBonsa and some people around him that can. And he's finishing better than he did. He was good at Baylor. But he's just his strength. You're talking about Carr getting stronger. It's like Rob got stronger, and he's just, even when they blocked his shot, what did he do? He went right back up, and he handled all that beautifully. I mean, I'm sure you did the same thing. I tried to think of Tunde and Carr with Rob. Whatever they put around them, team's at least getting to the tournament.
Oh, for sure. Sure. I think there's no question. And I think Obi would be a different player with Rob as the point guard as well. I mean, we'd probably be bad defensively. I mean, Rob's a terrible defender. I mean, Baylor attacked him nonstop and got whatever they want when they were attacking him. But offensively, we'd be much, much better. We'd probably look a lot like BYU, because BYU's a bad defensive team. And, it'd probably look a lot like BYU does on the offensive end. I don't think that would be good enough to win a national championship. I wouldn't expect BYU to get past the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
But, you never know. I mean, they might have a really hot shooting night and beat somebody that's better than them. But, I think what you want is to build a team like Houston. I mean, you want to, get guys that are just, hard-nosed, tough. Of course, you got to have the accountability and the, intense coaching to go with it. But, we've had that in the past, the Vitals and the Jonathans of the world and the Davions and the James Akinjos. You just need guys that are just built, to play physical games. I mean, BYU, as good as they are offensively, they only scored 66 against Houston at home. There's a reason, Houston's, you got to get to that kind of level athlete.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm not even gonna have time to ask you about what Olivia Miles did last night. That was, I think some of the football has in the basketball, and it's funny. It's like, I think it's good and bad. Like, I find myself being kind of emotional, and I did 30 minutes today to start the show, Ash, on the drop coverage that they're playing on Olivia Miles. I don't really dedicate that much, but I just could not. And again, it's kind of unfair because I think I'm taking my frustrations out on Baylor men's basketball on the women, and they're sitting there at 10-3 in the conference. But I just could not. I don't know how much you got to catch of that last night, but
I saw it. Yeah.
It was just unreal, wasn't it? Just please change something up.
Yeah, I know. She just had too many clean looks at the basket. And then, once you get those clean looks early, now she didn't have a great first half, but in the second half, you're just letting her shoot open shots, and she's proven she can make them. I mean, you got to do something different, That was baffling. Yeah.
Okay. Hey,
All right.
Ash, thank you, buddy. I appreciate
Thank you.
you.
Have a good
Okay,
one.
there he
See ya.
goes. Ashley Hodge joining us on the Matt Mosley Show. And always good to have him. And he had a big meeting he had to get to, but he fit us in today. And I'm very appreciative of that. And the man, he takes his meetings at that stand-up desk and really does some strong work there. But that's interesting, Kev, to hear Ashley kind of talk about, what he kind of sees happening in the coming days, how they're going to have to analyze, and maybe it'll be a more of a group effort. And the more I hear about like even what led up to the season, I mean, there was a lot of back and forth and sort of disagreements on players and all that kind of stuff. And I think the Rob Wright threw them into a tailspin. The injuries happened. I mean, there's a lot of negative, unfortunate things that happen, but they got to get it right and they got to get it turned around. And, right now I'm leaning into other things. Kev, this morning I found myself reading Grayson Grunhafer and the Siegmund 365 staff over on the Bearcast that they call it, they had Ryan Davis, the new edge rusher that came from Kansas State. And then they had Draylon Miller, the receiver from Colorado, and they had kind of a sit-down visit with them. And what they'll do is kind of put the whole transcript of what these guys had to say. And I like listening to the interviews, but I really like looking at that. And if you're a Baylor fan, that Siegmund 365 is a good investment. All right, I'd pay. I mean, you'd think as close as buddies as I am with Ashley and Colt and Grayson, they just give me a subscription. I mean, hell, I was helping them get that thing off the ground back in the day, but they don't. And I'm happy to pay. I'm just kidding. It's fine. I do have to pay, but I'm kidding about them needing to offer me one. They got to make money somehow, and they do a really good job. But I have enjoyed those little breakdowns they have talking to these new players. Reminder, oh my gosh. I mean, Kev, look at Johnny on the spot there. He's ready to go. I tell you what, let's get ready. Let's take another break. Thank you, C&B. Thanks for those awesome new commercials. Our presenting sponsor. They're also the proud sponsors of Baylor women's basketball. I thought that was interesting, Kevin, how I kind of was getting a little rough on Nikki and some of her decision-making last night. We went straight into a Nikki Collins commercial. But that's the way it is. That's why she gets paid a whole lot of money. She's done a really nice job. And then on the nights when it doesn't work out, there's going to be some criticism. But let me tell you, the worst thing would be if people stopped talking about the program. All right. If we just said, it's just women's basketball. It's, whatever. Let's focus on something else. No, man, we're passionate about women's basketball at Baylor because we've been great for so long. So that's a good sign. It's not good to get your rears handed to you by Olivia Miles, for goodness sakes, but it's good that people care enough to be mad about it. And last night I was frustrated. All right. Kevin was having some kind of special impromptu Valentine's night with his wife, and I'm appreciative of that. But some of us, have to sit there and watch these games and react to it. All right. Tom Barfield joins us after these commercials.
Ready for a better kind of primary care?
At Patient First Direct Primary Care, you get unlimited office visits with same-day or next-day availability.
And instead of rushed appointments, we take the time to actually listen.
There are no insurance hassles, just clear, simple care.
You can reach us by phone or text because access shouldn't be complicated. Our practice has expanded to include Medicare-age patients as part of our direct primary care model.
It's a fresh alternative to the traditional insurance or government-driven systems, care that finally puts you first.
For more information, go to patientfirstdirect.com.
The selection here at Allen Samuels is great. They have a wide selection of vehicles. They go anywhere from a car to an SUV to a truck. I'm more of a car person myself. That's why I got a Chrysler 300 last. But my wife is looking for an SUV, which they have a lot of choices there. Anybody that's looking for a vehicle, I would recommend Allen Samuels.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Welcome to Kitbag, the ultimate destination for football fans. Whether you're cheering for Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, or any other top club, for true football passion, think Kitbag. Visit kitbag.com today. That's KITBAG.com. Kitbag.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
We offer fast shipping, exceptional customer support, and furniture solutions that stand up to high traffic environment. Elevate your space with BizChair's vast selection of stylish, reliable, and cost-effective furniture. Visit us today at bizchair.com to transform your business.
Circulon C1 Series Clad with Scratch Defense Non-Stick. Maximize cooking, minimize cleaning. Discover the unmatched durability and elegance scratch-free, worry-free, forever.
At Tusain's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
That's right. Back to the old Mosley Show here at Rogue Media Network. And boy, one of the newest members of our team, he's waiting in the wings. He's out at the ballpark today and excited to visit with him. I did want to say real quick before we bring our one of the official broadcasters for Baylor baseball on that Cowboys hired offensive line assistant O-line coach Kyle Fuller earlier today, according to my buddy Calvin Watkins of Dallas Morning News. Fuller played at Wiley and he played for the Baylor Bears. He joins the staff for the Cowboys. Cowboys also hired inside linebackers coach Scott Simons. You might recognize that name, spelled S-Y-M-O-N-S. SMU's defensive coordinator. Whoa. All right. And SMU announcing that the upcoming games, two huge upcoming non-conference games, they're going to play them at AT&T Stadium. What a joke. What a money grab. You spend all that money to be in the ACC. Your fans are so excited, going to have all these great games and great competition. And then you line up with some awesome non-conference games. And then you go play it at Jerry, help Jerry make money. And I'm sure they're going to make a ton of money off this too. But what a disservice to your own fans to leave that beautiful little on-campus stadium, Ford Field, to leave and go out to Jerry and let everybody buy some of those $20 margaritas. Wow. I don't know what that snort came from there. Let's bring him on. It's opening weekend. It's opening day for Baylor baseball. And I'm looking out at the Metroplex right now, and it's kind of hazy and overcast. We'll get a weather report from out at the Baylor ballpark brought to you by, I think, some of our local shiplap folks now are involved in the ballpark. I think the field has changed names because of that, but we still can call it Baylor ballpark. Let's bring on Tom Barfield.
Hello, Matt.
And there he is, Tom. I hope you can hear me. I was really giving you a rousing intro. And you got a good haircut for today. I know you went out and did that just for knowing you were going to be on the show today and knowing you'd be doing some video. Tom, welcome to the Rogue family. I mean, we're bringing in I've been teasing this for a while, saying we've got these two local celebrity, longtime Waco, Central Texas personalities coming on. And I finally was able to make it public the other day. So welcome to Rogue Media Network. We're glad to have you.
I'm excited, Matt. It's a new chapter, and I'm really excited to be a part of the team. And you're right with J-Mo on, and I mean it's we're getting the gang back together, aren't we?
We really are. I mean, and it's going to be our old stomping grounds. Somebody from there called me the other night, and it was kind of like, what? Oh, y'all, it was one of our friends who tends to hang out at Oakley's quite a bit, and they was kind of grumbling about all of us going. But hey, Tom, we go to where things are happening, man. As broadcasters, kind of like players out there in free agency, you want to go to where you can do some pretty cool things. And we love this world we've been in. And Tom, you had a really great sales job, honestly, between your recent radio gigs. And I know you love those people you worked with, but the call of being back in the daily radio broadcasting, podcasting was too much to pass up, wasn't it?
It was. And Corey Dickman, our fearless leader, has given me the opportunity to kind of help coordinate his high school coverage. We got a lot of high schools that, we do live play-by-play for. And, Midway and Lorena and Robinson and Conley and La Vega. And, so we got a lot of pieces, that we got to kind of coordinate. And we're going to be doing that for Corey so he can go be a big picture guy. You know how he is. So I'm excited about doing that. I'm excited about getting on the air. We'll start our show on March the 2nd, which is a Monday. And we're going to really kind of feature Matt on a lot of local stuff. We're going to try to get a lot of local content, local coaches, and really kind of take a look at what's going on in and around Central Texas.
Are you going to be like a Mosley? Will this be like a Tom Barfield show? Are you going to have like any long-haired producers like I have? Like somebody working with you? Because I say that. I really like Kevin. And the timing was beautiful because his alma mater won a national title. So right. I'm just saying, if you can get somebody like Kevin, I would highly recommend it. Somebody that could like figure out how to put graphics up. I know it's a shock you, but I did not put those graphics together.
There's no way. Really? You had to have
under
some help?
you. Yeah. Although they're a little big for my taste. I'd like to see the font just a little bit smaller. I've never met
anybody as technically inclined as you. I mean, if I said go set up a live remote broadcast, maybe from a local restaurant, I mean, you were all over it.
We do not need to bring up the things that made you most frustrated about me. It's a wonder that we're friends. Given some of our bickering over the years. But I'm excited for you. That'll be fun. Oh, wait, who is going to be kind of working with you? Are you still figuring that out?
We're taking if you got some suggestions, I'd like to know, but we're going to interview a couple of people next week, I think. And I don't know because, I'll be honest, what I know about this is about as much as you know about this. So we're going to have to get some help, but we'll get the help. And,
Well, I've got some names I can give you, and one of them's 6'7". He seems to be calling us a lot. Okay, moving right along. Now, what are they playing out there? I'm hearing a lot of music. I'm hearing some beat. I'm hearing kind of some bass. What are we playing out there? Do you recognize this?
Man, I don't recognize this. They're not playing any of my favorite songs, but this is batting practice song for 18 to 22-year-olds. So I don't know. I don't know what they're playing. But it's got a good beat, and I think you can move to it if you wanted to dance.
Have you heard any Bad Bunny yet today during batting practice?
Well, if I did, I wouldn't know.
I would. I actually do. I speak Spanish, and so I was kind of all about that Bad Bunny. But if you say that, then I'll get about half my audience mad at me. Mosley, he was not speaking English. Okay, I'm sorry. I kind of liked it. I kind of like some of the presentation. I like those. I like all that grass moving around.
The flowers
and stuff.
Or the weeds or whatever it was.
Yeah, man. I like a good moving weed. And I like some of the bodegas or whatever they stop by, bodegas. And
Don't they
like
live down on Johnson Street, the bodegas.
Johnson. I don't know. There's some bodegas there in Waco that I'd like that you don't want to visit at certain times. Now, Tom, what's the vibe though? It's always fun. Hope springs eternal. Here we are, mid-February, and we're going to roll this thing out. Opening series against New Mexico State. I will not ask you to break down that lineup. I'm hoping the Aggies didn't bring too much talent to town. That would worry me. I'd like to see the Bears get off to a good start. But first of all, just this starting rotation. I'm just sitting here looking at it. You know these guys. You know what Davenport was in the bullpen. He's going to open today. He's going to be the Friday starter to open the season. We know what Calder did, the lefty. And then I'm very interested to hear about this Cade Hansen, the Sunday starter, because my gosh, I got to familiarize me with this kid, but the numbers he's come, that he's had in the past will bowl you over. But what do you think of this rotation to start the season? Are you bullish on this rotation?
I don't think this rotation is set, to be perfectly honest with you. I think there's some guys that, first of all, Matt, understand that there's 18 guys on this pitching staff that throw 90 miles an hour or better. They've got some arms. They've got some options. They've got some choices. The question is, can they perform at this level when the lights are on? And there's some guys that we don't know. We got some question marks about. You mentioned Hansen. This is a kid that comes from Wisconsin Whitewater. I know you know that name from D3 and how good they were in football, but they won a national championship in baseball, and he was their key guy. They rode him really, really hard last season. And, everybody I've talked to, all the scouting reports that he's going to slide right into a D1 Power 4 conference and do just fine. But you know what? Until the lights come on, we don't know. And so we'll find out a lot more on Sunday. Ethan Calder in the middle on Saturday, he's a guy that really you can do a lot of things with if you can get some other guys to come forward. One of those guys I'm liking is Mason Green. Green was phenomenal, coming out of high school, and he's battled some injuries. In last year, he didn't throw maybe 18 innings. I saw him in an inter-squad game on Sunday, and he was terrific. But he's going to start out in the pen. But I would like to see Mason Green, the lefty, move into the rotation and give us a chance to use Ethan Calder in some other ways. Because Ethan could be on the back end, he could be in the middle, and he could be a starter like he's going to this weekend.
Okay, I like all that. Oh, look,
that's Bob Baker, the chief engineer of Baylor Broadcast.
Tell him Mosley said hi. Can he hear me? Or
said
you
hi,
have your,
Bob.
Yeah. I'm sure he's been on my YouTube show. He seems like a man who loves a good YouTube show.
He's going to make sure we sound good on the air today.
Well, no, he can't perform miracles.
We do so much now.
That's right. That's right.
I do a lot of things, but miracle work's not one of them.
You are live on the Mosley Show, by the way. Thanks for asking.
I like seeing folks move around back there. I've been reading, too, that Levi Caraway is a guy I've gotten to know from sitting next to him at football games and all. And in his coverage on Siegmund 365, he really looks at this thing from a lot of different areas. So I enjoy kind of reading some of that. And I've been looking at, who's projected to be in the starting lineup. The shortstop, Travis Sanders, obviously he's emerged, and he needs to be one of the best players on this team if they're going to have a big year. Last year, they had an amazing shortstop, and he's playing, minor league baseball now. And I remember one time trying to talk to him, even when he'd gone back home overseas. He was amazing to watch. Tell me about what this infield's going to look like, though, with Pearson Reebok and Travis Sanders in the middle of this thing. To me, those obviously have to be two great players for you if you're going to have a chance to make some noise this year.
You're going to be as athletic as you have been, not only in the infield, but in the outfield as well. This will be the most athletic team Mitch Thompson's put on a diamond in his 4 years here. You're going to be incredibly talented up the middle, as you mentioned. Travis Sanders moving from third back over to short where he belongs. Reebok at second base. You're going to have Tice Armstrong, the transfer from UTA at first, and then Cade Dotson, the sophomore, very, very talented. I can't wait to watch him play third base. And then your outfield, Matt, will be as fast as, well, probably as fast as any outfield I've ever seen. And I've seen some really good ones in my 17 years around here doing Baylor baseball.
Wow. I mean, Ty Johnson, I guess you're talking about center field, and then what the freshman that has some people have projected to be out there in right field, talking about Brady
Janusek?
Yeah.
He's not projected to be in the outfield. He will be in the outfield. He is freakishly talented. He is really a special player. And then you have Hunter Snow in left field. Again, there's nothing. You better not hit the ball in the air. It's going to get caught by this group of three. They can flat fly and go get the baseball.
Who's the best outfielder you can ever? And I'm not talking about just at the plate. I'm just talking about fielding. In all those years of you calling the games and following Baylor baseball, and I'm sure, I was thinking about Murphy running around out there back in the day.
Well, we had Murphy, we had Chris Durbin, we had Kevin Russo, who ended up in the New York Yankees organization. Michael Griffin bounced back and forth between the infield and the outfield. Reed Breeze, Drew Brees' little brother, played left field for us. I mean, we had some talented players over the course of those years, back when we were rolling up championships and trips to Omaha and Big 12 championships and tournaments and regionals and super regionals like we did for several seasons.
Yeah, and you didn't use any of Mickey's players there either. I mean, my gosh, think back on Trozo running around out there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they had Matt and that gang. Some really good ones. Okay, walk the bullpens in college baseball. We've seen over the last 5 years, just to where that almost eclipses who your starters are. Right? It's just like what Houston had last year. That reliever. I hope he's gone. I forget how many years he played college baseball, but that guy was unbelievable. Who will kind of be Baylor had an incredible closer. Who do you expect to be in that role, start the season, and how deep do you think the bullpen could be for this Baylor team?
Well, to answer your question, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I know they got some talented kids and really some talented people. Now, we've been talking with the staff. We met with the staff last Friday and trying to determine some roles. I think they're still trying to figure out some things as we go through this first weekend. Who fits where? I mean, they got some arms. You got Weibel and Zach Wallace, who's a right-hander. I mean, you've got some guys that can step up and fill those roles. But I don't know that he's going to have a defined closer like he did last year. And I'm talking about Coach Snedeker, the pitching coach. Last year you knew that Stasio was coming out of the bullpen to the ninth inning and he was going to get it done. You were going home with a win. I mean, it was that simple. Nobody could hit him. He had an ERA under 1. But who it is this year, I don't know. I'd like to see somebody take that job and win it, but we're going to find out. One of the guys that may be in that role at some point is Ethan Calder, who will be our Saturday starter. And that's where I'm talking about. Guys need to step up and fill their roles, if the guys achieve what they can achieve, then this could be a really talented pitching staff. But again, we got a lot of guys that have got to go out and show that they can do it when the lights come on.
Okay, and give us the lay of the land there. I'm not going to ask you to turn your computer around. Here you have a beautiful new computer, by the way, a new laptop. It really sounds great. Makes you look really good. You look thin.
Really?
What? Is that Bob?
Yeah, Bob's chiming in on the broadcast. Yeah,
you need to clean the lens on your end.
Bob's really giving me some good stuff. I like this.
Yeah,
what's
he
told me I got some better stuff.
Give me the aesthetics of any new bells and whistles at the ballpark. I know they were doing some things to there were some plans in the clubhouse and that kind of thing. But how's it look on opening day for people that are planning to either come out there or they have tickets to a future ball game? How do things look out there?
It's gorgeous. The grass looks great. Of course, there's new carpet around the home plate area that has the interlocking BU in gold, and then on either side, third base line and first base line, it's the new name, Magnolia Field. at Baylor Ballpark. Thank you, Chip and Joanna, for your kind gift. And we got bunting up since it's opening weekend. There's bunting up around the ballpark. They just got the new signage on the outfield wall, and that's brand new, and it was put up yesterday, I believe. So it's opening day, Matt. How can you go wrong?
I love it, man. I love it. I may just point it right down there, right after the show.
With us.
Probably they still have not extended me an invitation. No, I could be up there. I'd love to be up there, and I like that kind of bunting. I don't want to see a lot of other kind of baseball bunting. I don't want to see them. I don't want to see a lot of that. Although they'll play a little small ball at times. Who's going to lead this team in home runs? By the way, give me your prediction on the season. Who has at the end of this season? Who is the home run leader, and who has the highest? Who drives in the most runs?
I don't know. Again, I don't know that this team is going to hit a ton of home runs. I think there's 2 or 3 guys that can probably hit 8 to 10 if they have a good year. I think you're going to see a lot more of the athleticism when it comes to this club. I think you'll see guys bunting. I think you'll see a lot of hit and run. You'll see a lot of run and hit. Again, with the foot speed of this club, I think that's more of what the MO of the club will be. We'll guys, Janusek can hit home runs out in right field. He is an incredibly talented kid. Then we got about 3 guys that can go 8 to 10 homers if they have a good year. But that's not going to be the MO of the club. The MO of the club, I think, in my mind, right now, and of course I may be wrong as we get deeper into this thing, but right now for me, I think this is going to be about using your athleticism to create opportunities to score runs.
All right. Have you seen Derek today? Does he seem to be in a decent frame of mind?
Derek is actually right now down at field level having a pregame conversation with Mitch Thompson.
And then you guys will use that on the broadcast. Is that how that works?
Yeah, he and I will be on the broadcast. We'll also be on the ESPN Plus broadcast. It'll be us.
Oh, I love that. Oh, so on TV. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just pick his spirits up because the TCU point guard hung 40 on the Baylor women last night. All right, so just try to keep Derek's spirits up a little bit. It was a little bit of a rough deal. All right, Tom.
Have a little trouble hearing you, Matt, because they cranked up the music a little louder.
All right. Well, we'll let you go. But thank you, Tom. I'm excited to have you on board, and everybody's excited to have you over here at Rogue. So welcome, and I will talk to you soon.
That sounds good, Matt. Thanks. Appreciate being on.
All right, you bet. There he goes. Tom Barfield, one of the newest members of the Rogue Media Network team. All right, Kev, send him out. Kev, you still have him on screen. I'm afraid Kevin's taking. Oh, there he goes. Okay, Tom was the music was starting to overtake him there, Kev. So we needed to.
I'm sorry, what?
We needed to move.
What?
We needed to move him on out.
What?
I know, but good to have him, and fun to have the first opening day of baseball season, and he and Derek will be featured on ESPN Plus, and generally a lot of times that is J-Mo, and they'll have Pat Combs on there and people like that, but that's great. Tom and Derek will be doing opening day, and they'll do a really nice job of that. And they've done their fair share of that over the years. I just hope Tom doesn't get distracted trying to find the right camera and all that kind of stuff. But Tom looks good. He's ready, and he's ready for the season. So that will be interesting to see. I tell you what, Kev, what we'll do is we'll take care of our friends at Central National Bank and our friends at Cherry Johnson, Siegmund James. And Kev, let's get ready. We do need a major Schmaltz's trivia question. In fact, our winner from last week was reaching out to me, Kevin, looking at how to get his free sandwiches to Schmaltz's. So we got to take care of these folks. But we'll come up with another one today. Schmaltz, the greatest sandwich in all of Central Texas. And we'll do that. But when we come back, Kev, let's do some what we like to call campus Confidential. That is next.
Central National Bank, this is Nikki. How may I help you?
Yes, can you please transfer me to the loan department?
You want to transfer?
Yes, please.
I'm sorry, you can't transfer right now.
What?
Have a good day. Yes, how may I help you?
Hi, I would like to transfer money from my C&B account to another bank.
Absolutely not. No. Have a great day.
Wait, hold.
I'm on your website and I'm trying to find the link for your payment portal.
The portal is currently unavailable. Have a great day.
We've received a few complaints.
Correct. We no longer allow any outgoing transfers, only incoming.
But the good news is, no money is leaving the bank. Like, none.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor Women's Basketball.
Everybody at Equalife really has a passion and a real interest in helping people feel well. How much further can we go to get you feeling even better? It is a complete partnership between the two of us.
What if you could clean clean? With bio-based formulas and deep cleaning enzymes. No dyes, phthalates, or mystery ingredients. Just powerful pods for your dishes and laundry. Now you can, with drops. Made clean, made to clean.
It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
It doesn't matter if your investment budget is small or big. All you need is Benzinga Pro and its powerful news alerts, price tracking, and portfolio monitoring. Subscribe now, and we'll skyrocket your portfolio today.
I am obsessed with helping business owners increase their traffic and turn it into profit through the power of Pinterest marketing. It's this amazing platform where people are looking for ideas, inspiration. They have a problem and they're actively looking for a solution.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at auraorganic.com.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com. That's NORDVPN.com.
It is Mosley. The Mosley Show. I like to stare at the camera for a minute before I speak. Kevin probably thought we were frozen for a second. Is Mosley ready? Not always. Sometimes I'm wondering, I'm thinking about things. And Kevin, I have to say, first, we do have our first NCAA baseball upset of the season. This is not good news for Baylor and the other Big 12 teams. The University of Houston Cougars open with a banger, defeating number 21 Wake Forest at the Puerto Rico Challenge. Where Bad Bunny's from, all right? Then you mention Puerto Rico right now.
Did Bad Bunny play there too?
Everybody gets upset. Like, Bad Bunny, he's from America. He's an American. It's a territory, Matt. It's a territory.
It is a territory.
But he's still American. All right, he's Puerto Rican, whatever you want to call him, but he's Bad Bunny. But the Cougs with a big upset to start the season, 8-2 over Wake Forest. Okay, I got a baseball. Today's opening day for Baylor baseball. All right, we're not going to turn this into a Baylor baseball podcast, although that would be interesting. That would be very niche. Kev, before we get to Campus Confidential, can we do a Schmaltz's trivia question? And then, Kevin, after I give the question, I want you to give you and I are going to have to compare notes on. That's one thing we kind of needed to figure out from our friend Scotty. We gotta get our people their sandwiches, because we've had some winners, and boy, Scotty came through with a big win, and I want to make sure he gets his coupons for his free sandwiches at Schmaltz's. All right, Trivia Thursday. Here is the question. If you know this one and you want to win 2 free sandwiches at the greatest sandwich shop in all of Central Texas, you need to get this correct, and you can answer at me on Twitter at Matt Mosley, MattMosley, or if you subscribe to our program on YouTube, our show, then you can answer on there. All right, in the comments, and then we'll get the correct. Whoever gets it right, the winner, will get the 2 free sandwiches. Now, Bobby and Scotty and some of you guys that have won, you can't win 2 straight times, but you can still play. All right, but we owe a couple of people some sandwiches. So anyway, I am setting up a system that will make it extremely easy for you to get your Schmaltz sandwiches. All right, Schmaltz. All right, here's the question: the single season all-time record at Baylor for home runs in a season. Who has it? And I know I'm going to help you real quick, because a lot of you are immediately thinking Muncy. It's got to be Max Muncy. He does hold the freshman record, I believe, with 11, but it's not him. This is the single season leader all time. All right. And I'm going to help you a little more. It's not Kelly Shoppe, who hit 1 million home runs and went on and had a really nice career in Major League Baseball, and I think has finally retired a few years ago. He was with the Rays and the Guardians, a few places. But Kelly Shoppe. And so I'm telling you who it's not. And it's not our great catcher. All right? It's not our great catcher from a few years ago. But anyway, so I've helped you out there. So I want the name and then how many total home runs he had. It's the all-time record at Baylor. And it's not, let me help you a little bit more. It happened before this century that we're in now. All right? It happened, and not much before, but it did happen in a previous century. All right? Give us the name, and then Kevin and I will help you get your, I won't be much help, but Kevin certainly will help, because Kevin is a guy who likes to go into the office, and he's a man who likes to hand out free sandwiches. All right? It is, so if you know the answer to that, you utilize our YouTube comments, or you can reach out to me on Twitter at Matt Mosley, and I'll see it, or DM me or whatever. Although the DMs are scary these days, because they're all like, hey, could you help me with this? And then if you open it, you get like some kind of virus. All right. And so I am not really looking at DMs is the truth of the matter these days. So just at Matt Mosley, and I promise, as long as you tag me, I'll see the answer. All right, there it is. There it is. Schmaltz's Trivia Thursday, even though today is Friday. And the bread, and you see that little picture of the sandwich up there, Kev? What I do is I go twice baked bread. I say I ask them to go ahead and do it kind of, whatever you would say, like toast it twice, because I like it to be really toasty and crunchy and all that kind of stuff. Oh my gosh, I want one of those. One time, one of my buddies, I just saw him the other day, this guy that was an undergrad at the time at Baylor, I was talking on the radio and I was saying how much I needed a Schmaltz sandwich, and he drove one from Waco to Dallas for me. I hope that day he was actually coming home for something, and it wasn't just to do it for me. But whatever the reason, And yeah, he and his dad. His dad's a good dude. His dad Steve's a big Baylor fan. But anyway, I thought that was cool.
I have a bonus trivia question just for you.
Yeah, what's up?
I want to test your knowledge of the greater sports universe here.
Has anybody gotten this right yet?
I don't know. I literally just saw this and I thought I'd bring it up. Okay.
Oh no, I meant my question, the Baylor question. That's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. What do you have?
So
what do you have to ask me?
In the Olympics, the Winter Olympics so far, there have been 5 U.S. hockey games played. How many goals has the U.S. scored in every single game?
5.
That is correct.
Okay.
Every single game, they've scored 5 goals.
I think I saw that opening one like 5-0, so I was able to wait. This men's U.S. team. What are we talking about?
Yes, the men's and women's every single U.S. hockey team has scored 5 goals in each game. So.
All right. Well, we'll see, because there'll be stiffer competition on the way. I would expect. I would fully expect.
So I watched some curling last night, and I watched the men's team play Czechoslovakia, Chechnya. There we go. And Chechnya made some mistakes, and U.S. won. And then I saw the U.S. men play Switzerland, and it seemed to be like the U.S. were young men who decided to do curling part-time, whereas the Swiss men seemed to be grown men who only did curling, and that was it.
That's interesting. Chechnya, I was refreshing my memory. I mean, that's a de facto semi-independent autonomous republic of Russia. Okay. It's always interesting to me, because for a while we were so down on, we spent a lot of our time, right, being mad at the Russians over the years for good reason. And,
they're not allowed in this
for a
one
while
either.
It was like a republic. Yeah, but there's kind of some ways they get around it. If they'll go represent someone kind of around there, they can get in, right? So yeah, Russia, we don't welcome them in. For a while though, we called them something else. It was like the Russian Federation of something.
Right.
I like to always let them in, because I don't like them. Like I think it's more fun to have them in. To
let them in.
I mean,
we're gonna beat you.
Every great movie from the 80s was about them trying to invade and whatever we call them, the Ruskies or whatever. Okay. I mean, and I think who's the late great the guy that was in Dirty Dancing? I mean, he was in one of those great movies where they tried to invade. That would have been what was that movie? Red Dawn.
Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, Swayze. Was Swayze in that? Red Dawn was one of those great. All the filmmakers were really getting involved in our hatred of the Russians at that time, and the known as the Soviet Union, of course, back then when those things were made. And then Gorbachev and Reagan were able to work some things out, but we've gone back to because of Putin and all that he's done, we've gone back to hating the Russians. Although some of our leaders don't seem to hate them that much. But I digress. Let's do some campus confidential, and then I probably need to get back into some things from last night that are very, very troubling to me about that Baylor TCU. They've got to get over that hump. They beat them for 37 straight times, and now TCU has won 4 straight. And while I like the job Nikki's doing, Nikki knows better than anybody, this is not a good trend. There is no way in the world you can let our hated rivals take over this deal. And boy, Bryce got after him last night. Jeez. Even I've been known to, I'm kind of try to be kind of somewhat kind about some of my critiques. But my man Bryce Cherry in the Waco Trib, and Kevin, I don't know if I sent that to you. I wanted you to put that up on the screen. I thought I would. Let me see if I can find I'll find a screen grab of that, where he led his column with a mention of Matt Mosley. Kev. That's what we need. That's what we need. Okay. More and more people will come to the Mosley Show if Bryce will put me in his columns. He also put Kim in there a lot. So, and Bryce is not a Kim Mulkey fan personally, but he understands, the huge, like what she accomplished at Baylor. The truth of the matter is that was not following Kim Mulkey is not a fun thing. But it was an opportunity. And I think Nikki decided, hey, I'm the one to do this. And I think she's done a really nice job, but they just, let one get away from them last night and really just an extremely poor coaching decisions were made. And that's okay. Okay. It happens in everything. We're not going to just beat up on Nikki. We'll beat up on anybody if I think Mitch makes some questionable decisions today, even though it's opening day, I'll be on here Monday saying Mitch shouldn't have done this, or Mitch made the wrong call. He shouldn't have taken the starter out, or he should have taken him out sooner. We'll second guess the heck out of Mitch this season, especially if they're good. The better they are, the more I'm going to talk about them. If they're bad, we probably won't talk about them that much. Okay, Kev, what do you have for me in this episode of Campus Confidential? Curly?
Yes. So what is the impact of the Joey Aguilar case on college football? Also need to apologize for preemptively yesterday saying that the case was dismissed. It turned out there was bad information, so much information around. He was reinstated, and I think it's great that he gets to come back to college football, as I mentioned yesterday. But
just so we say this the right way, you didn't do anything wrong. The NCAA denied. So that news we were delivering on Trinidad Chambliss was correct at the time. But they got a local judge, kind of like they did in Tuscaloosa, to come in and go, no, this is unfair. This guy in whatever year that was, 2022, was hurt, couldn't play, had some breathing problems, whatever the issue was, and didn't get to play a snap. And so he obviously deserved another year. But what you're about to get to with Aguilar is interesting on a lot of levels, but continue to set that up, and I'll respond to you.
So Joey Aguilar's case being different because he's referring not to injury, not to COVID, but to simply JUCO in general. So what does this speak to college football as a whole? How does his case differ from Chambliss and impact college football as a whole, maybe more?
Well, basically, man, now you can almost draft and stash players. You literally could send a player to Blinn if you're A&M and Blinn already has a huge tie into A&M and you're going to want them at some point, but they're not quite ready. Why in the world wouldn't you just tell them, hey, go play at Blinn? And the reason you would do that is because if Aguilar's case, however that comes out, we'll have to look, Kevin, because I don't know the exact latest. I guess they've talked about it and we're waiting on a judgment on that. And I thought one of these things had already kind of happened with Diego Pavia at Vanderbilt. These players that have played some JUCO ball, what's being heard is if he wins his case, those JUCO years don't count, and so he has eligibility for all of the one red shirt and the 4 seasons. So you would have 5 years. You would have 5 years to play, basically 4 seasons in a sense. And if this comes to fruition, you could play college football for like 7 years, basically, or 6 years. But your JUCO years would not count. And for generations, a JUCO player after 2 years would come in. And then maybe, I guess you could redshirt and then have 2 more years. But for the most part, you would have 2 years of eligibility coming in from JUCO. So this would change. Now, what I don't understand is like the players who have already graduated and kind of moved on and their careers ended, will some of those guys try to come back and take advantage of Aguilar's new ruling that the JUCO years don't count? I mean, could you have a player who's now out there, he's 26 years old, and he's moved on with his life, but he still would love to play college football and try to come back? I don't know. I don't think so, because your clock has ended, but who knows? In this day and age, you can play in the G League. You can go play for, the G League or play overseas and then still come back and play college basketball. There's no rules. And the NCAA, which had actually been getting a few wins, takes a loss here. What Kevin's saying and what's true is, in Chambliss's case, I think people are kind of happy to see him get another year because of what happened to him previously and missing a whole season because of, I thought it was like a breathing problem or asthma or some condition. And so I think people are actually happy to see Chambliss get another season. I'm happy because I didn't want Ole Miss trying to come make one last swing at DJ Lagway. I mean, knowing them and knowing how much they tamper, I mean, who's to say? You go, well, Matt, DJ has signed his contract. So had Rob Wright. So had the kid at Duke. So had the kid at Washington when he tried to break his contract. So signing a contract doesn't always mean something to these players and agents, all right? So I'm happy to see the kid get settled in, and maybe we can just all breathe easy and really have a good time focusing on the DJ Lagway era at Baylor University. All right, Kevin, what else do you have?
All right, what are your thoughts on, now that this has come out a little bit more, the Big Ten 24-team college football playoff proposal that includes doing away with league championship titles in those games?
All right, Kev, and if you want to look, this is Pete Thamel's story. We always want to credit where all these things come from at ESPN. On that story, Kevin, that I sent you, obviously it kind of had a bracket. You could kind of see who all would have made it. What's going to have to happen, this was an internal document from the Big Ten that got out, obviously, and Pete Thamel got a hold of it. What'll happen is, what they believe should happen is 2027 and 28, the thing will expand to 16 teams, and it will be 5 automatic qualifiers plus 11 at-large bids. And then they want to go to, and by the way, this year it would have been like 5 Big 12 teams, 6 Big 10 teams, 3 ACC teams, and 7 SEC teams. That comes out to almost more than 16, doesn't it? Anyway, they were trying to do the math and find out like what the breakdown would have been from the conferences on what you'd call like a 5 plus 11 to get to a 16 team. I think the scenario I just gave you was too many teams. I'll look back at that and try to figure all that out. But they eventually want to take it to 24 teams. And maybe that's what I just gave you. And you get one group of 6 team. So it's a 23 plus 1. You do away with the conference championship games, which I'm fine with, whatever. I don't think those things really matter anymore with the playoff. I mean, look at the ACC. Duke wins, and Virginia doesn't get in, Duke doesn't get in, and that's how those two, group of 6 teams got in. They'll never let that happen again, I promise you. 23 plus 1. I think maybe it was what I was just giving you. It would have been 7, 6, 5. That's 18 teams from those 3 conferences. 3 from the ACC gets you to 20. And then, so anyway, I don't know. I don't know how the group of 6 fits into all that. But the bottom line is total money grab, let's play the opening of these big-time teams that had the bye, didn't get to play at home, so they get a home game. You'll start the playoff on the same weekend that Army-Navy happens, like right around then, second weekend in December. And this is just like, let's get more teams, let's get more from the TV networks, let's do this. And to me, this smacks of what the Big Ten is, represented by Tony Petitti and a guy that has a TV background. He was president, I believe. He ran CBS Sports at one point. This is a huge TV guy trying to do TV things. And I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, to me, it waters down the regular season. Nobody's really going to be, oh my gosh, this game's big because of the bracketing, because of the 2014 bracket. So this team could be they could be the 13th best team rather than the 17th. It's so dumb. And so we finally have a 12 team, and it's been fine, and there'll be tweaks to it. And I'm sure a 16 team will be fine, but it's kind of like the college basketball thing. Nobody's desperate to take it from 68 to 78 or 80 or whatever they would do. Nobody cares. Nobody wants that. I mean, other than somehow TV can make more money and more coaches can get in. Maybe some coaches do because it would help save their jobs. But I as a Baylor fan and as a team, and I know they're down this year, but as having a team that's usually a top type seed, no. Expanding basketball's dumb and expanding football's dumb too. You go, well, Matt, maybe this could get Baylor football into the CFP. Maybe so. But it all gets watered down. I don't. Kevin, do you like it at all, or are you like me? Don't really think we need a 2014 playoff.
I'm aggravated that it's 12. It doesn't work. It needs to be a numerical number of 4 in order to make a real bracket work. And so 24 doesn't make sense either. Make it 16 so everyone can have a first round home game and we can move on. It shouldn't be 12 either. It should never have been 12. If you're going to have anything in between, make it 8 and then jump to 16. Don't have 12. What are we doing?
Well, 12 is a multiple of 4, by the way.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's got to be a multiple of 8 in order to make the bracket work with no buys and just...
Okay, you're saying 8 or 16.
Right.
Or okay, I got you.
Sorry.
I think anything more than 16 would be too much. And the only thing I can assure you of is they're going to screw it up. And somehow we've managed to still keep the thing kind of fun and relevant. And the rating's pretty decent, even while all of college football and college athletics has kind of fallen apart and gone crazy. And, all that's going to happen is like what happened today. I can't even remember what school it was, but some school woke up to the fact today that their swim program is gone, right? And they just hired a diving coach in January. Come here, man, come be our diving coach. And then today they just announced they eliminated the sport at that place, right? And more and more of that is going to happen. I mean, it's just none of this is really sustainable unless you're at one of these huge revenue schools like University of Texas or Florida or Alabama or Auburn or wherever. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know how Baylor. I don't know how they'll find a way. And fortunately, Baylor has great donors and people that care. And I think Doug's going to do a nice job. But what a mess. And yet we still love it. And I know people think, well, we can't grow these players. We don't like going to see the basketball games. I mean, one of the best things about Baylor women's basketball, Kev, is that at least you've had Bugs and Bella and Jana and some of these players that you've kind of watched grow up, even Abraham to a certain extent. And so you still have a little bit of that. Although I don't know whatever happened. Bella Montleroy, can't shoot, can't score, literally was a pretty good player and is a pretty good offensive player. And she's just really you almost need to tell her to stop shooting. She's still a good defensive player, but I saw her. I've never seen anybody rush their shot. The shot doesn't look confident, even from the free throw line. Like, I've never seen a player go from like really good, solid ascending player as a freshman and sophomore, and now she's not a very good player. Like, I don't know what to make of that. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, Belle LaFont-Leroy was a really, really good basketball player. How do you go from that to having a total lack of confidence? I saw on a breakaway layup in that game, and I didn't feel like she felt like she was going to make the layup with nobody else around. Like, that's how little confidence she has in her offensive game. Meanwhile, Jana Bugs has kind of gotten her confidence back. She's playing great. You never know what team's going to give you. I mean, she could be awesome, or she could just not be able to score at all. It's a hard team because they don't have a low post presence from a scoring standpoint. And I don't know. It's a good team, but I'm losing any hope of them making much noise in the tournament. I'm talking about the NCAA tournament, but at least they're going to get there. The men are not going to get there. And I'm frustrated. I am very frustrated, really, with the men's program mostly. But the women's the program last night, there was no excuse for the way they handled some things on defense and to let somebody go for 40. I mean, it's one thing to let AJ DeBonsa, who's going to be the number one pick maybe in the draft. I mean, Olivia Miles may be the number one or number two pick. She's awesome too, but I mean, I would say Baylor tried to defend AJ DeBonsa. It didn't work, and he scored at will. But Baylor did not try to defend Olivia Miles. And to this, I will never. There'll never be a moment where I'm like, wait, what'd y'all do? But here's the thing. Nikki will handle it fine, and I think with more time to think about it, I think the next time we hear from her, I just think there'll be a much better explanation. And I think there'll be an apology, like she didn't apologize to me or the fans, just kind of like, I think she'll own it. She kind of owned it last night, but not completely. Somebody that was really tough to watch, especially on a night when you had a great crowd. But again, I think she'll own it and she'll be fine. And I think they're going to play a lot better at TCU. I don't know if they'll win. Good gosh, if they lose 5 straight to this team, I'm going to be beside myself. Okay. Kev, what else do you have for us in Campus Confidential? We're coming down the stretch here. I mean, we're running out of time. The show is almost over.
So you got to calm down. Stop wibbling. Stay focused, all right? I want you to give me...
Forget who you're talking to.
I'm trying here.
Right.
So give me your reaction. We talked about the CFP. You mentioned CBS Sports, so take a look at this. Way too early prediction for the college football playoff bracket for next year from Chris Patterson with CBS Sports. What do you think? Initial thoughts.
Buys? Okay.
Texas, Notre Dame, the number 1 seed, Texas Tech, Ohio State.
Okay, they got Boise State getting in there as the group of 5 team. There'll never be another 2 group of 5s ever. So Notre Dame, as long as they're top 12, Notre Dame is basically a freebie.
This puts 2 ACC teams in there with SMU and Miami.
Well, Miami gets back. Interesting, because Miami loses a lot of those great defensive players, and they lose their quarterback. Who'd Miami get in the? They
got somebody.
That's a good answer, Kevin.
Yeah.
They did. It's likely they got somebody. Okay, so they don't think A&M is going to be quite as good, but they do think A&M is going to get there.
Remember the whole?
That's right. They're in Mensa. Yeah. Okay, they got the Hoosiers getting back for the 3rd straight year. I find those first round games to be really interesting. Boy, they're giving Kiffin the benefit of the doubt, And so even with Chambliss now getting to play for Ole Miss, not to have Ole Miss. So let's think before we break this down, Kevin, who's missing that's normally involved in something like this? And I'll help you here. Alabama is the first name that comes to mind. That's a biggie. Now let's think Big Ten. You've got Ohio State and you have Indiana.
You don't have Michigan. Michigan's going to be better.
Whittingham, going over there, but you don't have Michigan getting in. You do have Oregon, and they have their quarterback coming back.
Yep. But they're in the exact same seed that they were last year.
Yeah. SMU.
You also do not have BYU here.
Yeah, the ones that I think that could knock on the door, both Arizona State and Arizona are pretty good. And Arizona actually finished strong. They were an ascending team. Dillingham State at Arizona State. I think they're really good. SEC teams that could crash this party that are not on there. We got to see what the guy does at Florida. Because he could flip that thing. They're not going to have a lack of talent there. We got to see if Florida State puts anything together this season after a great start last year. They flatlined and were awful. From the ACC, they've got SMU. I think it could be Virginia again. Virginia had a really good season this year. From the Big 12, I think Arizona, BYU, Arizona State, and the team we haven't really mentioned, I think the U of H. I think the U of H got better this year. They had a really strong portal, and so you got to think about the U of H. Now, who are we not thinking about? There's somebody we're not thinking about.
Tennessee.
In the SEC. Yeah. Tennessee could bounce back, and Tennessee's waiting to see about its quarterback, right?
Yep.
I'm just trying to think. Okay. Okay. So we're monitoring that story as we speak. But I like that. They're obviously they think Arch is going to be great. And they think with a year under his belt, I think they're overdoing it on UT. The other team that's left out that had a pretty good season is OU. I think OU, and where do they got a quarterback? Is he back? He's back, isn't he? Yeah. So OU could be good. A&M gets its quarterback returning, and they've been awesome in the portal. I like that. That's interesting to start getting our minds. And of course, I think we're all waiting on, is there going to be a new Indiana or another Indiana type team that emerges? And that's why I kind of brought up U of H. I don't think they'll do it at Indiana's level, but Kevin, you got to feel pretty good. And if I know you and the Indiana people who are celebrating a national title, you probably think that's not high enough ranking for Indiana. They probably should give them more respect.
As an Indiana Hoosier, I look at that and I laugh at Notre Dame at number 1 and think that it should totally flip IU and Notre Dame. Because until proven otherwise, IU is the best team in Indiana. Although the last team that IU lost to was Notre Dame.
Well, and you're forgetting, though.
They're losing love.
I thought Purdue had a good portal. I thought Purdue had a very strong portal. Do not forget about those Boilermakers. All right, our broadcast week.
There is a huge slate of basketball games this weekend, both men's and women's.
Give me real quick. I want the men's. Nothing against the women, but I've talked a ton of women's hoops. So give me the best men's games real quick.
All right, Clemson at Duke.
Duke.
A&M at Vanderbilt.
Vandy.
Kentucky at Florida.
I kind of like Kentucky. Right now. They're playing well.
All right.
Give me Kentucky.
Texas Tech at Arizona.
Man, I think Tech will play well, and they'll give them a game. I really do, but Arizona will win that ball game.
And to me, the game of the week, Kansas at Iowa State.
But does Houston have a good game? I was wondering who Houston was playing. Oh, no. Kansas State's going in there. Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid that's going to be a bloodbath. I did talk to Jerome this morning, and he's doing okay. And he's, I love Jerome. I just hate that he's going through this. Kansas at Iowa State?
Yep.
Give me the Cyclones. Kansas playing great. How's Darren feeling? How's the great Darren Peterson feeling? Is he doing okay? Has he got his whoopee with him? I don't know. We all sometimes I don't like comparing our approach to life to top flight athletes and everything. But it's hard for regular Americans and media, fans, no matter who. It's hard because we all know that we've worked through and I've also had colleagues that did not work through injuries or illness. And if you got cancer or something, come on. I'm not like that. I'm not being a a-hole about this. But we all have worked through and when you see over the years Jordan and the greats that play through anything, and you see Peterson over there looking fine but not playing because he has the flu or something, it is so difficult. It is so difficult to watch. And let me tell you, the guy I saw in person, I saw two of them. I saw two great freshmen the other night, Tuesday night. Debonsa and Tunde Yesufu. Thank you, gentlemen. For all I know, y'all might have been under the weather. But you went out and you put on a freaking show. There is no way in the world you would have sat out. And could they have rested Debonsa and still beat Baylor? Probably. But those guys want to play. And maybe they have some dignity about him because he's making $7 million. That he's like, you know what? They're paying me a ton of money. So I'm not going to sit out. I'm going to go play basketball. Darren Peterson just drives me nuts. All right, man. Good show today. Thank you. That patient direct that we have now, what a cool thing that is. And thank you, Ted Teague and Alan Samuels, for what you do. Get out there this weekend. Some of those truck specials, sometimes they'll be like, well, 10,000 off. And I'll be like, what? What do you mean 10,000? How can you take 10,000 off a truck? They find a way. They do it. And Ted now is doing those commercials where, just like Alan Samuels, the late great Alan Samuels, he just walks around with that coat over his back. And Ted does a good job. Ted's pretty good on camera. So I'm appreciative to Alan Samuels, our great sponsors. And thank you to The Landing. It is time for The Landing. Oh, the Brazos Landing. Kev, put it right up there, buddy. Put it right up there as we say goodbye. The graphic for the Brazos Landing. You can't do it?
No. In my graphic moving the landing.
Oh, no. We've
landed
lost.
elsewhere.
Don't tell the Lindsays, anybody. Don't tell the Lindsays.
But I played their commercial now. So.
Oh, I know. We got the brand new commercial. We got all the new commercials. And then Sherry Johnson, Siegmund James re-upped with us. The excitement over Cherry Johnson, Siegmund James. Thank you. People love this show, and we're appreciative. All you people today that are following us on Twitter, I would just ask you humbly, boldly, courageously, I would ask you to go over to YouTube and hit subscribe. And that's gonna, who knows what that'll do for me. I really don't even know if that'll get me back on the show Monday, but I think it will help our cause. All right, as we continue to grow the show, the Mosley Show. All right, thanks for everybody who's been a part of this one. Thanks to Kevin, all his hard work, all these beautiful graphics that he had today. Thank you to our guest. the thing I take pride in, Kevin, is I really don't think we need to have guests always. I want the show to be so good that the guest is just something maybe we do, maybe we don't. But I loved our guest today because we had Ashley Hodge from Siegmund 365 and then Tommy Barfield, the legendary local voice who's heading up a lot of our high school coverage at Rogue Media Network, and loved having him on today. Everybody have a tremendous weekend. We'll see you back here at 1 o'clock on the Matt Mosley Show.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. When it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. But with the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. Don't buy from social media ads unless the ad is from a verified company. When you click those ads, you open yourself up to fraud. If it seems too good to be true, it almost always is.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Everybody at Equalife really has a passion and a real interest in helping people feel well. How much further can we go to get you feeling even better? It is a complete partnership between the two of us.
What if you could clean clean? With bio-based formulas and deep cleaning enzymes. No dyes, phthalates, or mystery ingredients. Just powerful pods for your dishes and laundry. Now you can, with drops made clean, made to clean.
It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
It doesn't matter if your investment budget is small or big. All you need is Benzinga Pro and its powerful news alerts, price tracking, and portfolio monitoring. Subscribe now, and we'll skyrocket your portfolio today.
I am obsessed with helping business owners increase their traffic and turn it into profit through the power of Pinterest marketing. It's this amazing platform where people are looking for ideas, inspiration. They have a problem and they're actively looking for a solution.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at auraorganic.com.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com. That's NORDVPN.com.